Okay. Miracle number 3. This is this is the crazy one. Um, like I'm still trying to figure out all the pieces to this one, but it's also like the most fun, giddy one to me. So brain surgery on Saturday. Um, I don't know that I was fully aware of things until like late Saturday night. Um, but right after shift change, which is at 7, um, is when things got really bad for me. Um, I we're not sure what order things happen in my body, but I had a blood pressure spike that was super high, which then caused a pain spike in my head, which I just had brain surgery, which then caused extreme anxiety, which then made my entire body tense up. And normally, I would have Michael beside me, holding my hand, talking me through it, praying over me. He could text my friends who would pray. But as soon as my surgery was over, like as soon as the last staple was in my head, Michael was escorted out of the building. No visitor policy. And so I again was completely alone after the biggest surgery I've ever had in ICU. I was fully alone. And at this point, I was panicking. Head hurting. I could tell my blood pressure was high. And anxiety. And so I'd sent Michael, I think I'd tried to call Michael. I think he was on the phone with someone. Sent him a text message and I was like, I need you to pray. I'm not good. I had sent my best friends a text message. I need you to pray. I'm not good. I had sent Joy a text message and I was like, I need you to pray. And I think that I need to go back and look. I think I told them like it's anxiety, blood pressure, pain, like, and I'm alone. Like, please pray now. And I remember laying in that bed and like I didn't want any lights on because it hurt so bad. And just laying there and I couldn't get comfortable and I couldn't turn the right way and nothing was working. And they'd come in and they'd given me my oral pain meds. And like I remember thinking, I gotta count to 60 30 times because then maybe they'll be kicked in by then. But also thinking, I don't have 30 minutes. Like, this is excruciating pain. And after I sent those, like, SOS out, like, pray now, I took my phone and I turned it on to Pandora and to Lauren Daigle radio and had it just laying on my bedside table, playing. And my tech came in. His name was RJ. And RJ came in and like your tech's job is to check your blood pressure, check your temperature, check your pulse, and then they leave. Like they have on ICU they have 10 patients. So they're very busy because they have to do all of that every hour depending on your health. And I remember RJ coming in and I don't remember him taking my blood pressure. I don't remember him taking my temperature. I don't remember him doing any of the things that he was supposed to do. But I remember him starting to sing worship music over me. And I was like, is this really happening right now? Like, this dude is singing over me. And I was like, okay, God. And so I just laid there and I listened to him as he sang these songs over me. And then Lisa came in. And Lisa was my ICU nurse for the night. And she was strikingly beautiful, older woman. And she came in, and I started to get sick. And both RJ and Lisa swooped in, and nobody, like, usually Michael's the one to hold the bag while I throw up and then clean me up. And here are these two strangers I've never met, and they are literally ministering to me, like cleaning my face and my neck, and still singing over me. And I remember Lisa saying, we're going to get you through this. You're going to be fine. She at one point said, you're not alone. Like, we're here with you. And I know your family is with you. But you're not alone. And I remember thinking, oh, I don't even know you people. But thank you. Thank you for reminding me I'm not alone. And she said, here's the deal. I'm going to give you these meds. I have your nausea meds, and I can get them to you really fast, and they'll knock you out. She was like, but it's going to hurt. I was like, okay. She was like, I don't want to do that. She was like, I'm going to stand here and push them very slowly. And I was like, okay. And so she sat on the edge of my bed, and she held my hand, and she pushed those nausea meds slowly. Like, it had to be 45 minutes to an hour. And then she said, I have some rescue pain medication that I can give you. I can give you 5 units of it. She was like, but if we don't need all 5 units, like, let's stop where we need. I was like, okay. She was like, but I'm going to push those slowly too, so we know when they're working. And so again, she stood there, RJ on the other side of me, still singing worship music, Lisa holding my hand, and she started to pray over me while she pushed this medication. And both of them, like, it was the most worshipful moment of my life, with these two strangers ministering over me. And I think it was the second dose of the rescue medication. I literally could start to feel my body just relax. And I remember taking a deep sigh, and she said, okay, are we okay? And I said, I think I'm okay. I said, I just don't want to be alone. And she said, remember, you're not alone. You're never alone in here. She said, what I'm going to do is you need sleep, and so I'm going to step out, but I see you through this window. I'm right here. And if you need me at all, you just push this button and I'm coming. I said, okay. And so I fell into a sleep. And the next morning, she said she came in several times to just check on me. My music played all night long. She was like, your phone was going crazy with people texting you, but I knew, like, you weren't hearing them because you were sleeping so well. And I remember telling her, like, thank you for what you did for me. And she was like, this is my job. And I'm like, no, like, I've had other ICU nurses. Like, this is above and beyond. And it was just this pure moment of somebody loving me so hard. So I text all the people I'd text that night, and I was like, thank you for praying for me. Let me tell you how God answered your prayers. And I told them about Lisa and RJ and how God sent them to me and how they sang worship music over me and they prayed over me and continuously told me for them that I wasn't alone. And like, it was so fun also to see people rejoicing how God had answered their prayers. So here's the crazy part, you guys. Houston Methodist people wear specific colors, scrubs for specific areas. Techs wear this like plum colored scrub. And it didn't hit me until I was leaving Monday. RJ had on a blue t-shirt and khaki pants. No, I think it said something about Houston Methodist on his t-shirt. But he is not dressed like the techs were. At all. Lisa, all of the ICU nurses all wear the same color scrub. She was not in that color scrub either. It was like an olive colored scrub, which is not what they wear. Like, I fully believe that the Lord sent me angels to sit beside me that night through Lisa and RJ. And if I get to go back to Houston Methodist ICU and hug their neck one day, like, that's great. But I don't know if I'll ever see them again. But the Lord was so sweet in that time that he picked Lisa and RJ specifically for me. For that specific time. He knew that I needed them. He knew that I needed them to say to me, you are not alone. He knew that I needed them to hold my hand, to sing worship music over me, to pray out loud over me. Like, just beyond what I could ever ask or imagine. And that is who our God is he does things that are beyond what we ask or imagine. That morning also, Maricela, who is the lady who cleaned my room, came in. She spoke very little English. She walked in and she said, I'm going to clean your room, sweetie. I said, that's fine. And she said, and I know you're scared. I just kind of looked at her and she said, and I know it's because you think you're all alone. And I said, well, God's showing me I'm not alone. And she said, you're not alone. And I want you to know that you're not alone. And then she proceeded to pray over me in Spanish the entire time she cleaned my room. And every once in a while she would look at me and translate it into English and giggle. And she was like, God said to say that out loud in English. And I would laugh. And at this point, I'm like, okay, God, like, I see you. I fully feel you. I get it. Thank you. But you guys, again, God is a God who's good. He is a God who desires to do good things for you. Oh, like, I hope that you can taste and see just a smidgen of how good the Lord is.